Questions with Nate Chappell, Finn Hammond, and Johnny Fisher.
So, the way the several questions work is that basically we found a machine in the woods called the Questionator 5000 that was evidently engineered to generate infinite, very silly questions, and Johnny, Finn, and I have dedicated our lives to answering them all one by one by one. And a little programming note, we just ran a firmware update on the Questionator 5000. It was not being supported anymore with new updates, so we had to do a big overhaul. So hopefully that doesn't mess anything up. I don't know. Finn's kind of our IT guy, by
That's
which
right.
I mean he's the it man. You know.
Mm-hmm. I like the movie franchise. Right? That's what you're referring to. I like the clown. He's scary.
The clown. Oh, that it. Sorry.
Yeah. That's what I meant when I'm the IT guy.
Did you say I like the movie franchise? Mm-hmm. I thought you meant I like the movie, quote, franchise, end quote. And I was like,
what? That's true too.
I mean, I love that movie too. Of course, we all do. We all watch it once a year, right around Arbor Day. But I guess I don't see how it pertains to this conversation. That's why I was confused. But now I get it. Right. Now I get it.
That's a joke we like to say in the community. It comes up all the time.
Community.
Yeah. On the message boards and stuff. They're always
So are you into clowning or are you into clowns?
I'm into
or it. Just it.
That clown. If I knew his name, that would be, I think that's like,
you're just so shy you never worked up to ask him.
Yeah. They're so, oh my God, they have their noses so high in these message boards. Let me tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
It this, it that. Hey, have you seen the second movie? No, I
bet there's a lot of typos too, with their noses up in the air so high they probably can't even see the keyboard.
They're not even looking at it.
One thing I wanted to address, Finn, is that you are recording right now in a kid's swimming pool, in like a public swimming pool, and everybody's having a lot of fun there. There's water slides, and people are having, splash fights and stuff. Yeah, so that's weird that you're doing that.
Mm-hmm. My kids, they get bored usually when I record. Mm-hmm. And I thought we'd compromise and I'd record at a public, very loud space.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do a lot of work just to get the crinkling of the saran wrap you've wrapped around your microphone out. So, and I don't think I'll even be able to get all the kids screaming, much less the whistles. There's
a deep pool plug-in that takes care of the splashes.
Okay, maybe you can you just mail it to me? I've got an open plug, an open outlet here.
Okay, cool. I'll give you that. And then there's the defun that takes off all the sounds when people are having fun. Woos, ha-has.
We definitely don't usually need that.
Yeah.
Next question.
What is the difference between a peach and a bicycle?
I mean, wow. I feel like there's a lot of differences. There's like a joke to this, isn't there?
What's the difference between a peach and a bicycle? No wings. It's just a nonsense joke that you tell to get people to laugh. So I guess,
is that the goal?
Well, to get people who to laugh who are faking it.
I see.
To trick people into laughing along with a joke that some people know is nonsense, and so they all laugh.
I see.
And then you see
and then they're
basically you're trying to weed out the losers, the sheeple, the phonies, the fakers, the bakers. I
see.
So I guess I don't know how that got in there. Maybe it was, I did put some of my own files in with the firmware update. Maybe that was the problem. And how I like to write all my jokes down.
Right.
Like this one. This is another nonsense joke. Okay, ready? This is a better one. There's two ants sitting in the bathtub, and one of them says, "Hey, pass the soap," and the other one says, "What does that have to do with a typewriter?" You guys are sheeple. You guys are laughing, and it's nonsense. You guys are sheeple.
I like the scenario.
You just get a kick out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
I
right.
think when I originally heard it, I thought they said salt, and I think that might be funnier instead of soap.
Pass the salt. Yeah. Pass the soap has.
Well, it's also like, it's just too congruous, you know.
The soap with the bathtub.
Yeah,
makes
there
sense.
would
And then
be
he
soap
just-
in the bathtub, but what's funny is that there's salt in the bathtub, so you think that's where the joke is going, and then turns out he's like,
type
no, nonsense, bam.
nonsense to nonsense, which makes it extra funny.
No, does it?
Hey, one ant is. Yeah, that's why it's so extra funny. What is the one's writing like a novel or something? So there's no typewriter present, is there?
No typewriter present. In fact, what's going on seems to have little to do with the typewriter, although I guess it suggests that something previous had something to do with the typewriter. Like they had been talking about a typewriter. Like maybe he's like, hey, can I borrow your typewriter? And he's like, can you pass the salt? And then he's like, well, what does that have to do with the typewriter?
I see.
Maybe that's
And he's like, I'm trying to cook in the bathtub.
well, nothing, but I just needed something else. I was just, I was about to say that before you asked about the typewriter, and I have to think about if I want you to use my typewriter. I was planning on using it after this bath. After my salt bath. Although, Epsom salts.
Yeah, there we go.
That and maybe it's not the insect, but my mom's sisters.
Yeah, Johnny, maybe you wouldn't think this is so funny if you were more
Johnny.
generous with your scenarios.
Yeah, Johnny. I didn't even know if Finn was going to say it. I just started saying, yeah, Johnny. I just like to pile on whenever I can.
Yeah. Aren't you glad you did? Just think anything could be. You don't have to think, oh, I'm better than these ants.
You don't?
You can't. No.
Okay, but I guess I just want to explore for just a second. What is the difference between a peach and a bicycle?
Okay.
They're both furry, so that's not a difference.
They're both furry?
Fuzzy. Well, some bicycles.
Which, like with the tinsel tassels?
The tinsel tassels? Yeah, the tinsel tassels. Are we're talking about exotic dancers, John. John just had to step away to pet his dog. If you know what I mean.
It didn't help.
Did not help. But we haven't heard him at all, just so you know.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, noise canceling works really well.
Yeah, well, it's like over the din of the pool. You can tell that the kids just had to get out of the pool for a 10-minute break.
Yeah. Or you thought maybe there was a dog in the pool.
Yeah,
and
like
you'd be right.
Dog. A hot dog. That's where I boil my hot dogs. In my pool.
Hey, that's the salt.
Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't it be crazy if you're in a hot tub and you just were boiling a bunch of hot dogs too, and then so people would just grab a hot dog and eat it?
It would be.
The
question like, why are you boiling too?
Yeah. Is the pool?
Oh, I don't
boiling?
want to. I don't want to, John. That sounds like it would hurt.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a really dumb question, John. You should really dial it in there. I know you just moved and got back from Scotland. You probably still got that jet lag, but that doesn't. You're sitting down right now. It doesn't matter.
Oh, in Europe they don't cook hot dogs in the hot tub. We don't do that there.
We don't do that. They do it in hot springs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hot springs.
Because you know how Scotland is known for their hot springs. Okay, next question.
What is your middle name?
Okay, this is a little better. This is at least a sensical question. That first one was nonsense, so maybe it's dialing it in here.
I'm gonna throw you through a loop though.
My
middle name is Finn.
Johnny, could we do a gasp together?
Gasp.
Yeah. On 3, 3. Okay, you say it again. Actually, I guess we don't have to count it in. You can just say it.
My middle name is Finn. That's right. My full name is Padraic Finbar Haggerty Hammond.
That sucks.
And my parents, I think they wanted to call me Finn, but they thought it would be too weird, which is funny. It was like the 80s.
And they went for Padraic. They thought, Finn's too weird. How about Padraic?
I was like, it's like hard to pronounce and will confuse everyone.
Yeah, everyone. Padraic?
Drake?
Did I tell you?
Weird. Well, hold on, but how did they arrive on Padraic?
My dad wanted something. I think they both wanted something super Irish sounding.
I was gonna
okay.
say, is it like
And yeah,
Old English or something? Irish?
yeah.
Okay.
Or it's Gaelic, and we pronounce it wrong. I know I've said this on the podcast before, but in Ireland, it's pork.
Mm.
That's how
Yum.
you pronounce my first name.
Pork?
Over there.
Pork Finbar.
Pork. One syllable.
Pork.
Not three.
Hold on. Pork.
Pork.
Like, I'm sorry.
Pork.
Like,
But kind of like por-ick. But pork.
Pork. Like York. Pork. Well, it sounds like pork. You know that, right? It just sounds like the
Oh,
pig.
yeah.
Speaking of hot dogs.
Fast
And then your middle and your last name is Hot Tub Hammond.
pork,
Which is weird that we were
hot
talking
dog,
about the hot
ham
dogs.
dog. Yeah, pork, hot dog, hot tub.
That is weird, actually, that your last name is Hammond. That has ham in it, and your first name is Pork.
Yeah. And Haggerty.
Like, it sounds like some sort of, like, rundown pig.
Yeah.
You're an old,
Haggerty.
rundown pig.
That's right. As was my father before me.
And your sister's name is Sue E. Is that right?
Middle name's E.
Well, Elizabeth.
What are your middle names, you guys?
Well, that's a really personal question.
Yeah, sorry.
I can't tell you. My middle name is Andrew. Just Nathan Andrew Chappell. My social security number is 6969. So my son's name is Adrian, and I call him Andy sometimes, like a lot of the time, because I think it's funny. And I think it's partially the reason I think it's funny is that to name your kid after yourself, after your own middle name, when it's a pretty boring middle name, I think is a funny thing to do.
It's a funny name.
Andy, it is kind
I'm
of
gonna name him
kind of
Andrew
cute for a
after
little
me.
kid too. Andy, but like if I'm trying to be stern, I'll say Andrew sometimes.
True.
Andrew, Adrian, Ames.
When you named your what's Wes's middle name?
Clementine.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, which is the great part about middle names, giving people them, is that you can pick a weird one or one that's a little too cute for a first name or, too much for a first name. So, like, Adrian's middle name is Ames, which means friend, because we thought that would be cool. But, like, it's a weird first name.
Right.
There's not like,
That is cool.
because we decided that the nickname would end up being like Amy accidentally. If you tried to like, I don't know, because that's what tends to be what I do is that I put E's on the end of,
Yeah.
If
So
someone,
80's way better.
okay, yeah, for sure.
If
Johnny,
someone
do you
what?
have a like? If
I
someone's
don't
named
have a middle
Amy, when I nickname people, if I nicknamed Amy, it would be Ames. It would be that would turn into that. That's how I'd get there. So, would I do it in reverse?
I like to tell people that we were gonna name him Jadrian James, but we didn't have enough J's.
You ran out.
Yeah, we ran out of J's. Johnny didn't like that. Johnny was fucking mad
John's
about
pissed.
that. He's trying to remember his middle name.
Yeah, I am. I was like, what is
Like,
that?
what is it? Is it
Johnny.
Nathan?
Dungarees.
Should we
That'd be
guess
amazing.
it? Do you?
Yeah.
Is it Thomas?
Nope.
Maybe you should give us an initial.
Yeah.
Johnny
It's got
Fish.
L.
How about
Hold on. Is it Gold?
Goldfish?
Nope.
Goldfisher. Johnny Goldfisher. And your first legal name is Johnny, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Jonathan Lee Fisher.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, I think I must have known that somewhere in the recesses of my dirty, dusty old prune of a brain.
Lee is good. It's like sounds old fashioned.
It is.
Was it after Robert E. Lee? Do you think?
I think, yeah, probably.
That's a dusty person.
That's good. He was.
dusty
He
guy.
seems like a good guy.
Could be.
Yeah. He was good at some stuff.
Dig them up, find out.
Dig him up.
That's how we find out.
Yeah, dig him. Oh no, he wasn't a good guy. He's a
Is
skeleton.
he worth his salt? Well, if we dig him up and it's
He's just
good
an old
quality
skeleton.
bones.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I don't like those. I've seen enough Halloween specials.
Oh man.
Okay, let's move on to our final question. See if we can get this dialed in here. I'm gonna reboot the questionnaire quick and see just to see if that helps anything.
If you had to jump out of an airplane with no parachute, would you?
Okay, so I have to jump out of an airplane with no parachute. This is closer. I think questionnaire is getting closer. This sounds like it's gonna be a kind of like a would you rather situation. Like if you had to jump out of an airplane with no parachute or bungee jump with no bungee cord, which would you pick? But it's not that. It is instead just would I? And it kind of seems like my hands are tied, which would make the whole thing even more dangerous.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That'd be a terrible
Or would
situation.
it, really? I don't know.
You gotta pull the. Oh yeah, it's all the
no
same. Huh?
parachute. yeah, no parachute. Doesn't
I mean,
matter.
if you have to do it, would you?
Oh, if I have to, would I? Yeah. I guess I would if I have to.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to, yeah.
I do feel like my hands are tied. Do you remember there was like an old commercial or something for Time Life books where it was like incredible things happening, and it was like a guy falls, like his parachute never opens, or his parachute, or it's like I think he pulls the ripcord and a bunch of dishes fall out, like pots and pans fall out because he grabbed the wrong backpack.
And this is a commercial for a book.
This was a commercial for a book and was talking about this story of this. It's like an infomercial for a book, maybe. Like they had long commercials for these Time Life book things. So maybe just like a minute long commercial, but it was like telling, like they'd highlight a couple stories, and one of them was like in 1975, James Johnson fell from 32,000 feet and lived to tell the tale. Yeah. And it's like, you don't remember that? You don't remember those commercials, those Time Life Books commercials?
I
guess
don't.
You wouldn't, Finn, because you are just too young. You're just too youthful.
That's
I
right.
didn't know how to watch TVs.
He's been blowing bubbles this entire time.
Spit bubbles or bubble?
No, like with his bubble gum, with your bubble. So Wes just got permission to start chewing gum,
Oh, that's cool.
and she just had her first piece, and she started on
got in
mint
her hair.
chewing gum, which is insane for a kid, right? But then she discovered bubble gum and hasn't had bubble yum or bubblicious yet. It's gonna blow her mind.
Gotta
She's
work her way up.
crazy about it. She tells everybody. Do you know that I can chew gum now? She tells like everybody she sees.
Thanks.
What was it like a dental thing prior to this?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you do gum with, your teeth. So I guess that makes it a dental thing.
Or
What
like
do you mean?
why
did we allow it?
Yeah.
Because gum is gross when it's outside of mouths,
Yeah.
and it gets on stuff, and it's like
Like a
until you can
choking
handle
hazard.
it. Whatever. We had a good run. I just don't want to get my carpet all gummy.
Or I see.
No, seriously, I don't think it's much of a choking hazard at like past like 3 probably, because it's so small and squishy. I think it would just slide right down. But I think it's more of just like, I don't know. They're just gonna eat it. Basically, that's it. They're just gonna eat it.
Well,
Absolutely.
as soon as you said that she was chewing gum, I was like, oh, that's why she got a haircut.
What
Oh
does that
yeah,
mean?
it can get in your hair.
Well, I'm getting her hair, and then you just gotta chop it off.
yeah,
'cause
I
you can
see.
get it out. Yeah.
That's funny. No, not at all. She's actually really good at it. She's rocking it.
Really? That's wild. So okay, so what do you think? And if you introduce Bubblicious, zebra gum, I don't know if they have that.
Fruit stripe.
And they don't. Yes.
Zebra gum. That's the off-brand.
Then you're gonna. That's just candy. That's
Well,
just
fruit stripe
has the
sucks because it like. Oh, you mean if you're just eating it?
I guess if you're just eating, or if you're just the taste of it is like is just much more like candy than, spearmint or whatever.
Oh, sure, yeah. But it's and it's probably got a lot more sugar in it. But it's a lot more fun to chew. And it's actually regulating. It's good for kids who need regulation. So
Oh, word.
that's
Um,
and it
man,
keeps her
yeah.
from eating everything else because she's got gum in her mouth.
This is. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
That's a
ever
good
try to
part
eat
about it.
chips and gum at the same time?
it sucks.
It sucks. It's not cool.
It gets all like jammed up, like you can't. Because sometimes I'll be chewing gum and just try to have
Have
a
a
quick
hankering
bite
for
of
chips.
something, and you're like, chips are the worst for sure. I'm trying to think of what else is bad that I've.
Sometimes when I'm eating chips, I just stick a piece of gum in there
Yeah,
mid chip.
cool.
Bad idea.
Oh, it's a bad idea unless
Yeah.
it's like salsa flavored gum or guac gum or
yeah, I
xanthan
get-
gum. What?
He said guac.
What did you
gum.
say?
I said guac gum. Yum.
I'm glad we came back to this.
Guac gum,
I'm
yum.
glad I really should put a spotlight on him there. But guac gum, yes. Guac gum, everybody. Guac gum.
Yum.
Yum yum.
Yum, yum.
I would do it.
You do
I mean,
it?
if I had to.
Yeah, if you had to. Yeah. Okay. What about you, John?
Yeah, if I have to, I guess I have no choice. So and maybe the plane's flying really low over some water.
Oh, man.
I like this. I like that. If it's going to be
It'd
so
be-
vague, we can control the scenario a little.
I imagine. So there's like a window where you can jump.
No,
And
you can't open those windows.
Yeah.
It's just like a shade that opens.
How do you get out?
There's a door. There's a big door that
The
opens.
door. Okay. I would feel like I couldn't get my guts together. I couldn't get myself together.
I couldn't get my
I'd be
guts together.
shitting everywhere.
I love that. I just couldn't get my gut, work up the courage, get my guts together. I just couldn't. I don't know if I'd be able to get my guts together to actually jump. I think you'd have somebody up there to push you. Because you had to do
Oh
it.
yeah.
You didn't have a choice. So
They'd be
you'd have
pushing
to-
me.
Yeah.
Prodding you.
I wouldn't have like an assistant who I guess is dying with me.
Yeah, Johnny would be with you.
Johnny
Sorry,
would
John,
be
I'm sorry.
straps.
And Johnny's like, I'm ready. Or like, we can make this. We can do this. We can land this.
I like the idea of there being established no parachute, but you're still like bound to somebody else. He's like teaching you.
Oh yeah, like a tandem. Jump to your
Yeah.
death.
It's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it.
Hey, look at the
You got
you
this.
got like a camera, like a GoPro.
And you falling to your death.
Faces of death.
I
long
can't. You,
ago.
the audience. can't
Okay.
see.
I can't.
You guys can't see it, but I was acting like I was falling from the plane.
I will be
excited
honest.
about
I
it.
was singing, and I was really into it, so I didn't see you either.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how I am kind of the everyman of this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
How I, don't listen. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
That's all the questions we have for today. We'll get this stuff. I'm going to reboot Questionator again for next week. Maybe do a little tinkering, scrub up the keyboard and stuff. Yeah, it's got a keyboard. But that's all the questions for today. So why don't you just go ahead, get out there, ask questions, be curious, not furious, and always remember, you can't have eclipses without lipses. For Johnny Swiffer and Poor Cam, I'm Nick Chappell, and this is Several Questions.
Thank you for listening to Several Questions, a production of Wolf Out Radio. Click on the link in the show notes for more Wolf Out shows.